Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Am. In this video, I'll be featuring this watercolor brush set from SeamiArt. So this set includes 10 pieces of watercolor brushes and a storage bag. This storage bag is made up of like a faux leather material. It is soft and sort of feels velvety to the touch. So this is what it looks like inside. It has this net pocket compartment. It doesn't have anything in it. And these are the 10 pieces of watercolor brushes. So this storage bag also has this protective flap. I guess this also works as so your brushes won't slip off accidentally. And now here's the first brush. This is a number 2 detail or liner brush. Brush number 2 is a number 1 round quill brush. And this next one is a number 3 mop quill brush. And then next we have this number 14 filbert brush. And then this one is a number 12 angled brush. So this next one, I am unsure what it exactly it's called. I think this is a scrub brush. They call it scruffy brush. This is the only brush from this set that has animal hair. This is horsehair, I believe. And then this one is a number 3 round quill brush. And next we have this number 5 round quill brush. So second to the last, this brush is called a feather brush and the size is 3/4 inch. And then the last one, we have this 1-inch flat brush. So I'd like to add a bit more info regarding this storage bag. Although I said like it's soft and has this velvety feel to it, like a suede material, it's not that flimsy. It is soft and light, but I feel like it's sturdy enough to hold the watercolor brushes. And also, I think you can also use this like a pen holder. Okay, so for swatching, I'll be using this 180 GSM watercolor pad. I've prepared 2 cups of water. So for testing out these brushes, I'll be using my SeamiArt watercolor, in particular burnt umber. So the first brush that I'll be swatching is this number 2 detail or liner brush. So this liner brush has a very sharp tip and it's going to be great for detailing. So the next one that I'll be swatching is this number 1 round quill brush. And I also want to add that the handles of these brushes are quite lightweight. So this one also have a very beautiful sharp tip. The ferrule to me looks sturdy enough. So this one holds a decent amount of paint and water for a small brush. And next we have the number 3 round quill brush. So the same with the number 1 round quill, this one also has a very sharp tip. And now we have the number 5 round quill brush. So this one also has a very defined tip, and it's probably the thickest out of all the round brushes. So here I just wanted to show you how I clean the brushes first before I do the swatches with watercolor. I'm just using tap water. I don't use any warm water or hot water with this cleanup. So with large brushes like this one, I would wipe off the excess water just in case that there might be leftover glue on the brush. So again, with large brushes, what I'll do is I'll transfer some paint and water in a palette, and that's where I'll do my color mixing because the brushes are not going to fit on the half pan of watercolor. So this was the first time I've ever used a large round brush. I absolutely love that it can hold so much paint and water, and I think this will be great for doing washes. And it's absolutely amazing to me that it can still make that very fine line at the same time. And now here we have the number 12 angled brush. So I find that this brush is quite thin and doesn't hold a lot of paint and water. So at this point, the brush strokes that I'm making with this brush is quite feathery. It's nice to use for this dry brushing style. Now here we have a number 14 filbert brush. This brush is quite bendy, but still has that very nice snap to it. So this one holds a decent amount of paint and water. Although I like the performance of this brush, I find that I'm not going to be able to utilize this as it is slightly too big for my liking. And now here we have the number 14 scrub or scruffy brush. So as you can see here, I tried to paint with this brush, and personally for me, I don't think that this brush is actually used for painting. And here's how I personally think this brush should be used. I think it will be nice to try out to make sun rays effects. And this next one is a number 3 mop quill brush. So before testing this out, I tried to check the brush hairs and I found that there are some inconsistencies with the length. So as you can see that there are a few brush hairs that are quite long, but it will depend on which side you lay the brush on. So personally for me, this is not a huge deal because as always with mop brushes, you use this for loose watercolor washes and not for details. I find that this brush, it performs decently, but for me personally, I would just use the number 5 round quill from this set as it can do the same job. So for our second to the last brush, this is a feather brush with a size of 3/4 inch. This one has a very thin tip. It actually reminded me of a makeup brush from MAC. And I do like this brush as you can make multiple long feathery strokes. That's great to use for grasses. And now the last brush from this set, this 1-inch flat brush. So this brush it's quite thin and has a good snap to it. So this brush doesn't hold a lot of paint and water. I guess that is because, like I said earlier, it is a thin brush. Personally, for me, I do like flat brushes, but this one is a little too big for me because I don't usually do large paintings. Actually, honestly, I thought when I purchased this brush set that this was going to be like a hake or hockey brush, but unfortunately it's just a normal flat brush. So again, this brush, it is quite nice. It is very still usable, but also I find that this is not going to be good for doing washes as well. So here next, I'm going to do a sample painting using some of the brushes from this watercolor brush set. So recently, I participated in Colby Bloom's this writing desk's World Watercolor Month Challenge. So this was day 5 and the theme was wildflowers. And I'll be using my solid watercolors for this painting. So here I was using the number 3 round quill brush. In hindsight, I think the number 5 round quill would have been much better. For slightly more detailed strokes, I then used my number 1 round quill brush. So just about here, I remembered that I had the feather brush, so I switched to that brush and added more grasses. And then for this lonesome red flower, I used the number 2 detail / liner brush. And now here's the finished painting. And here I wanted to try out the scruffy brush some more. So that is going to be it for the first tryout of these watercolor brushes. Personally for me, I find that this is a good set of watercolor brushes, at least for the amount that I paid for it. It's also a good perk, the storage bag that it came with. I do recommend this brush set. I find that the quality is quite decent. And the price point is quite good as well, especially when it goes on sale. And here are the 4 brushes that I feel like I'd be more inclined to reach out for. And also this graphite brush, I think I would like to try this out some more. So now that is going to be it for this swatch test, a tryout of the SeamiArt watercolor brushes. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also please do subscribe. And I will see you on the next video, guys. Thank you so much and take care. Goodbye for now.